What's up, boys? Now, look, we all know what happened on Blue Protocol. We're all aware of what happened to this game that was the potential greatest anime MMO to ever have come out. Yeah, it already got end of life. Western version didn't even get a release. Yeah, and as far as we know, in January 2025, they're shutting off the only servers, which are the Japan servers. But all hope is not lost. The game is not dead. And now, before I continue, I want to let you guys know to please like, subscribe, even share the video around. I don't ask for this a lot, but the main reason I'm asking for it right now is because the more people we make aware of this, the more fun it's going to be when we actually get it working, okay? I say we, but I'm not really working on the project. Anyway, back to the video. But after this news, we did get an announcement on the Reddit that people are looking for a private server, and there is one currently in development. So on the Blue Protocol subreddit, we've had Alessio Scarlett mention that they are trying to create a private server and see what they can do with it, and they also released a video. Now, I have reached out to Alessio Scarlett and I have some news, some pretty good news. I don't want to oversell and I don't want to overpromise that the game is going to be perfect when we can access it with this means, but there is currently a Discord server in the description below, which if you join, you can join as a tester. When they do test runs of this, you can play the test build before they're comfortable with a full release of the private access. I know there's a lot of here and there, and a lot of people are saying like, hey, there wasn't much content that came out. The game was only a year old and it got end of life, but I still think there'd be enough to at least try and see what we would have got. I know that's kind of a crazy cope sentence, but you need to hear me out, okay? I still think it's worth trying. But as you can see in this video, currently limited servers access to 50 people to test workloads. No more slots available for now. This was about 10 days ago. As you can see down here, let's just go ahead and watch. Customizations works and the Regnas store doesn't, trying to figure out how to give everyone limited credits. So again, I mentioned that I've spoken to Alessio directly, and this was a one-person project originally, and now it's turned into a project with several devs. I'm not sure of the direct number, and there is some steam kind of kicking up behind it. So where they're at right now with the Regnas store, I believe they can use it, but it's not stable. So they need to find a way around to get that working. And for those who never played the JP version, the Regnas store is the pay-to-win store. And as you can see here, they want it to be unlimited credits so that everyone, let me make this full screen real quick, so that everyone's on the even playing field and there's no pay-to-win or mod-to-win, dev-to-win features. Everything works, like synced emotes, preset messages, so this feature does work, and if you are seeing a little bit of JP on the screen, like down here in the chat, there's a bit of a translation thing going on, and the majority of the game is going to be in English. I believe they are looking at different languages, but I cannot confirm which ones, how far along, if they've even been developed at all. That all remains to be seen, but English enjoys, e.g. mainly you and I, unless you're from Brazil or France or Europe or anywhere that doesn't speak English, you know, as a lot of the world, we're gonna know what the hell's going on. Parties and quests work, can currently load the first 3 maps correctly along with the quests and side quests. Raids don't. Again, this was 10 days ago. I don't want to directly show DMs, but I do want to mention what I have spoken to this person about. But the conversation I had with them was yesterday, and what they said was, regarding enemy bosses and AI, they work. However, we still need to test it a lot. Devs first, testers second, and we'll 100% have to make new adjustments. So they are making progress. They're figuring out the, you know, the bumps in the road, so to speak, to see how the AI works and interacts with the server. Because yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. It's not just like you run a local server and everything's bing bang botch, it's perfect to go. There's a bit more to it. And as for the shop functions, which I previously mentioned, they're studying on how it works, and results seem promising for now, but they can't share much more because there is a lot to be done. So the main aim of what they're doing here is to kind of release a finished product of what it felt for the launch of the original game on JP servers. That's the aim. It is a big ask, and it is probably going to have a fair amount of bugs when it does come through, especially if you are joining at the testing. Again, link in the description. The testing phase is going to be rough, but it's going to get us through it for when they can proudly release the game. Now, the rest of this video doesn't have too much other information. They have a 50-person cap on the servers as it stands right now. They are expanding that. I know that. The end goal is not going to be 50. It's going to be more. The direct number, I have no idea about, but 50 is kind of the current test limit, at least from what we know on the server. And yeah, obviously there's going to be some translations issues because I'm not sure how they're doing the direct translation. I'm going to assume it's going to be some level of AI based, but I cannot confirm. And yeah, as you can see at the end here, we'll keep working on it. I do this in my free time and I'm paid, so please don't expect many uncoupling news. This was 10 days ago. Now, as you can see, this video here has 700 views. This video here has 700 views. And when I spoke to Alessio yesterday, I can say that Alessio and the dev team are working 24/7. It is a good team, and it's not only a one-man job, okay? There are more people getting involved day by day, and hey, if you know anything about stripping games and back-end development and that kind of stuff in the server, don't be afraid to put your hand up, because it's probably going to help people in the long run. Now, but that's it for the video. But with that being said, I do have some videos I can show. Right, so as you can see here, right? This is a menu item, menu log situation, and it's pretty much showing that everything here is translated and it looks good, barring a couple things like, you know, name of the weapon and that kind of stuff. I'm going to mute this as well because the background audio is just the person's fan. It's very, very loud. But yeah, it's showing the summons, it's going through, and yeah, showing that it kind of operates and runs a lot like the actual official game at the moment, but it is a heavy work in progress, at the very least in the translation department. And just as you can see, if you played the game, if you haven't played the game, there are a lot of summons, weapon customization, character customization, all that kind of stuff. And it looks pretty good. This is also the mount feature in the game. If you don't know this at all, you can actually have mounts, which I think is also pretty cool, just random side note. And that's it for that. Now, the other one I wanted to show was the shop. So with the shop, there's a little bit of information that that they don't understand with the way how they're going to make the distribution system work and the money and that kind of thing, avoiding the pay-to-win fiasco that the official service became. But this video more or less just shows that it does work. You can go through, you can purchase things, you can roll the gacha for the cosmetics, you can roll the gacha for the weapons. It is something that at this very moment in time can be accessed. It's just a question of how it's going to be implemented on a grander scale. And then again, I have another video. This is rolling the gacha in the game. So as you can see, this is kind of the gacha element. You roll 10, you use more pools, you go again and again and again. It is something that is working at the moment, but I believe they have used cheats to get through and access it. It's just a situation of figuring out the back end to pull it into the game. And then to end off, as you can see, it is a completely desolate island right now because there's only one person, at least in these versions of the build of the game as it currently stands on the private server. But it works. That's the big takeaway. They can get in. They can use it. It works. We don't have to rely on Bandai Namco right now. You're not going to have to worry about getting banned because the game is dying. Also, not to mention, you can't play the game if you're in the West anyways. At this very moment, the project looks promising. I am kind of talking about this purely just to get the word out there that it is still a chance of working and of really existing, because we waited for this game for so long. We waited years on years. It was announced before Genshin Impact even came, and it got cancelled before it even released. And again, I don't want to promise anything. Alessio has made it perfectly clear that we do not want to say this is going to be a perfect build when it releases, or it's going to be able to run 1,000 people. None of that. That's just not going to be happening. But it opens up the avenues of what can be done once this is finished and in a usable state. Can we have several private servers? That question pops up. Can you play with your friends? Can you kind of have PvP server builds? This game doesn't really have PvP, but like with the raid bosses, when they are finally functioning, how are they going to operate? What kind of teams are we going to run for them? It's a game that I think is going to be fun to try out, and it's going to be good to at least experience, see what we could have had. And hey, who knows, this might even prep us for like a game in the future after they've realized how popular the private server is, that hey, maybe they messed up and they shouldn't have released it. That is insane, Copium. Oh, they shouldn't have cancelled it, I should say. That is insane, Copium, but it is Copium that I'll happily half. And again, if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching, and please like, comment, subscribe, and even share the video. Again, I don't like asking for these things because it just feels weird. Not really a YouTuber out here. We kind of stream more on twitch.tv/maximumgacha. But the point still stands. There is hope, ladies and gentlemen. There is hope. But yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. I don't want to take any more time up out of your day. Go support the devs in the Discord below, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.